I was sitting here thinking about ideas for videos, and I was scrolling through Studio looking at some stuff, and I came across one I did a little over a year ago. It was called A Few of My Favorite Things, which I just took a hodgepodge of things that I'd either recently bought, I've been using, or just really liked, and I didn't really think that I could make, or I could make, I just didn't, or I didn't think I could make a full video on it, so I put them all together in the same video. And so I'm gonna do it again. I haven't decided if it's just gonna be like, it may or may not be an ongoing series of stuff that I do. It's not going to be very often, just because I'm not. I either have to compile a list of stuff, and I don't just want to keep showing the same stuff, obviously, and so we're just gonna call this. I haven't decided if it's going to be the episode 2 or 2024 edition. I haven't decided yet, but it's going to be one of those two things. But the first thing I'm going to show you is actually right here on the desk. So this is the first newer gadget that I have purchased recently that I'm really enjoying. This is a Anker 13-in-1 Thunderbolt dock for my MacBook. So the way that I have everything set up right now is that monitor and all that is hooked up to my MacBook, and that just sits on the shelf that I cut a hole in with a hole saw for cables and stuff. So there is just one Thunderbolt 4 cable that goes to the MacBook that is plugged into this dock. And I've been really liking this just because it helps me keep stuff off of the desk. Like, I didn't want to have my MacBook on the desk and all that other stuff. I wanted it to be on the shelf. And so it also brings all of the ports up to the front instead of having to put a dongle on the MacBook to get things like, here we have a full-size SD card reader, micro SD card reader, we have two USB-C ports, a USB-A port, and we have an audio jack for 3.5 millimeter cable. And then we have more ports on the back of this as well. On the back of this, we have two HDMI cables for multiple displays. We have two USB-A cables. We have actually this is an HDMI, and I believe this is just a regular display port. We have an Ethernet jack, and then we have the power for the actual dock, and then this is the Thunderbolt 4 connection for the MacBook. So it's just a neat little gadget that I can use to cable manage everything, and brings all of the I/O to the front where I can actually use it when I'm sitting at the desk. The next item actually still lives here on my desk. It is my newest charger that I've been using. This is one that I just leave sit here on my desk. I've actually been using it quite a bit lately, especially because I've been using my Apple Watch to start tracking my sleep. So I don't charge anymore when I go to bed. A lot of times I set it right here on the desk to charge. So this is a Anker 3-in-1 charger. It is MagSafe compatible and is actually one of the first products they made with that is Qi 2 enabled. There isn't a whole bunch of phones out right now that do Qi 2 anyway, but once the standard came out, Anker jumped right on it and making a bunch of new products, and was including this 3-in-1 charger. It folds up super flat, nice and flat like this, so it's super easy to travel with. But then you just open it up like this, and then you have your MagSafe charger for your phone. And then you have Apple Watch charging puck as well that you can charge your watch. And then this back rubberized portion back here is also a Qi charger. It's not Qi 2, it's just Qi, regular Qi certified, but it's made for your AirPods, or if you have another phone that is small enough to fit on the pad, you can charge another wireless device like that too. And then it's super portable. I've actually bought two of these since they've come out. I bought this one that just lives on my desk,
and then I bought my wife one when she last year she bought an iPhone. She upgraded to the iPhone 15, and when she did that as a gift, part of a gift, I bought a bunch of new MagSafe accessories for her for that phone, and I bought her one of these as well. But she has the white one, I have the black one. But yeah, the other accessory, which is another charging related thing, is this charger right here. This is a very large charger. This is the Satechi 4-port 165 watt, I believe. Yeah, it's a 165 watt charging brick. It's a little different. This one, it just has the AC connector. So it has an actual AC plug, not like the prongs like on the Satechi charger that I carry in my backpack. And it has 4 USB ports here on the front. This is just a piece of electrical tape that I put on the front of it because it's real stuck on there. Because there's a light on this charger. I just got tired of looking at it all the time, and so I just covered it up. But I just have an Insta360 sticker right on the top there. But yeah, this is a charger that just lives right there in the corner of my desk. It actually has a little mount that it comes with that you can stick it on. Originally, I wanted to have it velcroed under the desk like the Thunderbolt dock that I showed you earlier, but it wasn't the greatest. The cords were kind of in the way, but so I just find that it makes the most sense sitting there in the corner, and so that's how I use it. What I will say, which I didn't realize this when I bought it, which I may be silly for not knowing that, but it does not do 165 watts just by itself. It's a total amount, and it's actually all labeled on the back here too, but each port is different. So this first port outputs at 60 watts, the second port outputs at 40 watts, and I lied. The first port outputs at 65 watts, so it's enough to charge laptops, MacBooks, stuff like that. The second port outputs at 40 watts, and then the bottom two output at 30 watts each. So it's a different wattage dependent on each port. So basically, the way I have it set up is the Anker desk charger that I just showed you earlier. That is always plugged into the fourth port, and then the other 3 ports I normally leave open, and I have cords that are wormed into the hole in that shelf next to me, and that's just basically, this is the charger for all my devices, iPads, computers, headphones, cameras, drone, anything you can think of. This is what charges all that stuff when I come home and need to charge things. And so this is super nice. I love having this. It was something that I basically the dock, that charger, and this charger, I bought a bunch of stuff to revamp charging on my desk all at the same time, and it's been super neat, and I really enjoy it. So yeah. So the next thing, or it's 2 things I want to show you. So some of y'all may remember this. This is the Nitro Deck controller for the Switch. I covered it in a video a while back, but this is not actually what we are talking about today. And this is the Nitro Deck Plus, which is the successor to the Nitro Deck, but we're not actually talking about this one yet either. This guy's going to get his own video. I just kind of wanted to show you and give you a little sneak peek of what is to come. We're actually talking about these, which you can't tell what they are because they're in the bags, but this is the Neo S wireless controller that is also from Cracked. So, and what I really like about these is that they actually come in this nice little bag, which is just a nice touch, kind of gives it like a premium feel. So these are wireless controllers that are, they're meant for the Switch, like out of the box when you turn them on, they connect
to the Switch like a Pro controller does, but you can also use them just regular Bluetooth for your Windows PC or your Xbox or PlayStation. So these are the ones I have. I have just the clear version, and I got this green one as well. So they same style as the Nitro deck. This green one is a clear plastic, and then I have the green one is also a clear plastic. They're more modeled off of the Nitro deck Plus rather than the original Nitro deck, which I'll go over that in a separate video. But they have the analog thumbsticks, the control pad, ABXY buttons, the cracked button up here, which also acts as the home button on the Switch, plus, minus, and the screen capture button as well. And there's just a lot of nice detail in them. It has 2 programmable back triggers on the back of it as well. And then this right here is a little NFC tag. With all your cracked products, you can download an app, and then you can log all your stuff, and it gives you the numbers and stuff of which one it actually is, especially if you pre-ordered stuff. That's really cool to see all that stuff. And what I like about these is, I like the size of them. I'm big on small, compact things that I can easily take with me. These also have hollow effect joysticks, which, if you don't know what that is, basically, and this is notorious for Joy-Cons on the Switch, when you use the joysticks a lot, you get what's called stick drift, that the joysticks eventually they'll drift off. These have hollow effect joysticks, which the main difference is, instead of an actual switch like a normal joystick, it's a magnet, so that it only activates when you're actually moving the joystick, which is super cool. But the joysticks, they also are removable, just like on the Nitro deck. And then you can swap, if you have more than one controller, you can swap them out, just like that. And then you can swap them out as also with the thumbsticks on the Nitro deck as well. And the last thing that I wanted to point out with these that I thought was really cool was that each controller came with a different thumb grip. The clear one that I got has more of a raised and dotted thumb grip for more textures. And then the green one actually came with, it's more of a flat one with a ring around it. And so these super cool. Okay, for the next one, we're going mobile. To the living room. To the TV. The TV itself is not the thing that I've been using lately that I love so much. It's what I put underneath of it, which is this box right here. This is just the newest generation Apple TV. This one is the Apple TV 4K. This one is the 128 gig. I got the 128 gig for this TV just because it had the Ethernet port that I wanted. But I love this thing because it brings the whole Apple UI to your TV, which this TV I have is an LG 50-inch smart TV. I hate the UI with a passion. It's gross and it just doesn't work. So I got the Apple TV for it. So, and then the remote too is just so tiny and cute. It reminds me of an iPhone, even though iPhones don't have buttons. It charges with a USB-C port, but I have been using the Apple TVs probably for a month now, and I haven't charged the remote yet, and it's still working, so that's awesome. So I actually bought 2 of the Apple TVs. There is this one that is connected to the living room TV, and I have a second one for the bedroom. This is just the regular one of the 64 gig, and it does not have the Ethernet. It's just Wi-Fi, but yeah, I have 2 of them for my house, and I love them very much so. And those are the last things that I'm going to round up in this favorite things video, and that's pretty much all I have to say. Let me know some of the newest tech or just tech that you've enjoyed using over the past however long, if it's the past month, week, day, year, 18 years. I don't care if it's your favorite. I want to know about it. And let me know, do you like this style where I just grab a bunch of stuff and talk about it? Let me know down in the comments below. And that's all I have to say in this video. I hope you guys are staying safe out there, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. Peace out.
I'm not gonna tip it over. That might break it.